Hey guys, hopefully this is the first of many videos, but we'll be going over the non-calculator questions number 1 through 6 in this video. The way I recommend viewing this video is to attempt these questions first before looking at these answers. I'll provide a copy, a PDF of the file in the description along with the answer key. However, I'll be working through each of these questions. Alright, look at number 1 right here. If x minus 1 over 3 equals k, and k equals 3, what is the value of x? So I rewrote it over here to the right, but thankfully we know what is k. X minus 1 over 3 equals 3. Sweet. We can now just multiply both sides by 3. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Thankfully on this side, my 3's cancel. We have x minus 1 equals 9. Then, after adding 1 to both sides, x is equal to 10, which gives us an answer choice of D. Alright, look at number 2 here. We have for I equals the square root of negative 1, what is the sum of 7 plus 3i plus negative 8 plus 9i? So they're telling us here in this first condition, this letter I is actually equal to the square root of negative 1. So in this question itself, we actually don't need to know that. Yes, that's helpful to know in other math or other types of things, but in this question itself, it's honestly not really that helpful. If we were multiplying here, yes, very important. But since we're just adding here and we're finding out the sum of these two things, well, it's not really needed. If you like, you can even treat I here as just like some variable. You can even say it's like x if you want. So I just kind of taken off the parentheses here and just rewrote it as 7 plus 3i minus 8 plus 9i. And now we can just combine like terms. Obviously, 7 minus 8 is negative 1. 3i plus 9i, that is just 12i. So the answer would be A. Again, the I necessarily is not needed in this question. You just treat it as a variable. Alright, on Saturday afternoon, look at number 3 now. Armin sent M text messages each hour for 5 hours. And Tyrone sent P text messages each hour for 4 hours. Which of the following represents the total number of messages sent by Armin and Tyrone on Saturday afternoon? So, Armin is represented by M, and Tyrone is represented by P. So, each hour, Armin sent M messages. Well, how many hours? Well, 5 hours. Tyrone did the same thing. Each hour, he sent P amount of messages. For how many hours? It was 4. Question is asking, what's the total number of messages sent by both of them? That means, what is the sum of his messages plus his messages? So it's 5M plus 4P. It would be just C. Alright, let's look at number 4 now. Kathy's a repair technician for a phone company. Each week she receives a batch of phones that needs repairs. The number of phones she has left to fix at the end of the day can be estimated with the equation P equals 108 minus 23D, where P is the number of phones left and D is the number of days she has worked that week. What is the meaning of the value 108 in this equation? So I've just rewritten this equation here, and I'm going to rewrite it again. P equals negative 23D plus 108. I just switched the terms. I did this for a reason. If we look at this equation now like this, hopefully it's sticking out at this point, but this equation is actually just a linear function. Y equals mx plus b. Does that look familiar? In this case, m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. Now your slope is your rate of change, your rise or run, your difference in change in y over change in x. In this case, your slope is 23, which would be the amount of phones she repairs per day, not per hour. So that marks out answer choice C, and it's not D because we said it's 23 per day. What is B? B is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is our initial starting value. It's when, on our coordinate plane, it's when x equals 0, y equals some certain value. So your y-intercept is your initial starting value. In this case, 108 is your y-intercept. Therefore, Kathy starts the week with 108 phones to fix. Because just think of it like this. What happens when she goes to work? On day 0, on when D equals 0. Well, just plug in D equals 0 to this equation. P equals negative 23, plug in 0 here, plus 108. Well, this will end up canceling, and P will equal 108. On day 0, she has 108 phones to fix. She starts the week with 108 phones to fix. Alright, look at number 5 now. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? We have this expression, x squared y minus 3y squared plus 5xy squared. All of that minus all of the second part. Negative x squared y plus 3xy squared minus 3y squared. And I've just rewritten it down here. So, which of the following is equivalent? Kind of just means, hey, simplify this, and let's see which answer choice works. So, notice this minus sign here. Minus all this stuff, that means we need to distribute this minus sign, treat it as a negative, to each individual term within the parentheses. So that means negative times a negative, so that would be a positive, so positive x squared y. A negative times a positive, that would be a negative 3xy squared. And then finally, a negative times a negative, that would be a positive 3y squared. Perfect. Now, let's just combine like terms. So we have one x squared y here and another here. So we'll have two of them, 2x squared y. Let me switch to a different color here. Alright, we have a negative 3y squared here and a positive 3y squared here. Those would cancel. Negative 3 plus positive 3 would be just 0. And then finally, we have a positive 5xy squared here and a negative 3xy squared here. So don't let those xy squares kind of freak you out. Treat them just as variables. 5 minus 3 is 2. Just tack on your extra stuff. Which just leave us with the answer choice of C. Alright, look at number 6 now. A pediatrician uses the model above, which is h equals 3a plus 28.6, to estimate the height, which is h, of a boy in inches in terms of the boy's age, a, in years, between the ages 2 and 5. So based on this model, what is the estimate increase in inches of a boy's height each year? So they want you to find out between the ages of 2 and 3, 3 and 4, and 4 and 5, there is a constant increase in height. What is it? Well, in this case, we'll just plug in 2, 3, 4, and 5 for our A. So 3 times 2 plus 28.6. Since that's 6 plus 28.6, that would give us 34.6. Same thing for 3, except that would be 3 times 3, which is 9. So 9 plus 28.6, that would be 37.6. Same thing for 4, same thing for 5. For 4, you'll end up getting 40.6, and for 5, you'll get 43.6. So let me just write down our heights here for this boy. Perfect. So then, between ages 2 and 3, how much did he grow? Looks like he grew 3 inches. What about between ages 3 and 4? Same 3 inches. And for 4 and 5, same thing, 3 inches. So, what is the estimate increase in inches of a boy's height each year? Looks like it was just 3. Now, that was a lot of work, and time is very precious on this test. I will show you an easier way that helps you kind of solve the question like in 10 seconds. So notice here I have this again on this side. H equals 3a plus 28.6. Now, this should look familiar because we just did a question that was just like this. This equation should look familiar because it's a linear function. Y equals mx plus b. So, b in this case would be your y-intercept, your initial starting value. M is your slope. So your slope is 3. Your slope, your constant rate of change, is 3, which means he's going to increase by 3 inches each year. So you wouldn't be able to answer A if you would have saw that the h equals 3a plus 6 is a linear function.